Not everyone that comes into your life is meant to stay there forever. Friends, lovers, whatever it is, they're not meant to stay there forever all the time. Some people come in seasons, some people come into your life for a reason, some people stay a lifetime. But everyone who comes into your life, everybody you come in contact with, they're there to teach you something. Many times, the hardest, you know, relationships, friendships, and any situationships to get over are the ones that teach us the most. When I was in sixth grade, I lost about 30 friends. Um, and it came from me just outgrowing them. The boundaries that I had established for myself no longer allowed certain people to be around me. The humor level and my sense of humor and my maturity level no longer resonated with certain people because I was just beginning to grow. And most of them didn't like the idea that I was improving myself and that I was growing because it meant that I would no longer be around. But a real friend, someone who actually cares for you, they lose a sense of selfishness when it comes to you improving. Like, you are my friend, right? My best friend. If it meant that I could never see you again and I could never experience your presence again, for you to live your best life, I'm buying you the first plane ticket out of here. Because that's what a real friend is. The selfishness is gone. I know a lot of people who will see their friends go through things and be strung out on things and go into these same bad habits, and they will keep them around. Like, yeah, buddy, you know what I'm saying? I love having you around. And then when they say, I'm going to improve my life, but I'm going to have to leave here and I'm going to stop have to hanging out. I'm going to stop hanging out and all these things. Like, yo, bro, you going to quit indulging in bad things and better yourself? You just going to leave us like that? I don't want you to be better. That's basically what they saying. So, and things don't have to be that bad either. Things can end in a cordial way too, but sometimes you just outgrow people. Sometimes you just grow apart from people. I have friends that I used to talk to every day that I don't hear from. And, a phone works two ways. I reach out a lot, but a lot of times I don't get those, same things back. You know what I mean? And it just gets to the point, it's like, if I don't reach out, will I ever hear from you? You know what I mean? If I don't continue to do the things that you do, will I ever be around you? Will I ever hear from you? Will we ever see eye to eye again? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you just have to realize that those things are okay. Um, a lot of the things I have learned in this past, let's just say the past 3 months, have came from me accepting the fact that something that I held on to very dearly, a friendship, a relationship, me letting it go and accepting that it happened and appreciating that it happened and just embracing that it happened and not resisting it. I have learned so much. I mean, like more than I done probably learned in the last 10 years. I have learned through this past relationship and just accepting the things that happen. Because that's just the way life is. You begin to outgrow people and you begin to outgrow situations, and sometimes things just don't work out, and that's cool. You know what I mean? But bottom line, you just have to keep going. And I know it sucks, but you always make it out. You know what I mean? You always pull through. So I know at times it feels lonely, especially when these friends, they've been there all your life. You grew up with them, and these people, you invest a lot of time and energy into them, and they always just been, your little group, your tribe, and things like that. But I'm telling you, when you grow, your environment has to grow, and things just begin to change. And whatever it is that doesn't change with that, it's gonna have to be left behind. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. If you're serious about this growth, if you want to be the best version of yourself, and if you want to live a great life, things like this is just going to happen, and you will meet new friends. And in the moment where you feel like you can't meet new friends and you don't have anybody, you always have yourself, no matter what. So, very recently, I noticed that I've been outgrowing, one of my friends. We used to talk on the phone a lot, and a lot of things were going on, and we would, just chop it up about certain things. And it got to the point whenever I would be around, it was like I was almost babysitting. Like I'm not for the troublemaking and getting in the crap or anything like that. But it was like whenever I was with this person, it's like I'm almost supervising all the time. Like, hey, we do not need to do that. Like just irrational thinking, thinking out of emotion, wanting to do stupid stuff. And I just stopped coming around. And then I would always get these phone calls, and it was just complaining, just negativity every time. Every time, just negativity. Like I could be having the greatest day, and then I will get a phone call and sit there and listen to negativity. But I don't have the energy for that anymore. I always, I'm saying, I hear my people out, and, I try to help everybody as much as possible and listen to things. Because sometimes we do need to get things off our chest. But every day, something negative, like you literally will have a great day, but find negative things to call somebody and talk about and complain about it, and then finish the call with, yeah, but I ain't worried about none of that. None of that gonna get me mad. Now you're not mad. After you didn't just ruin my whole vibe, right? So I can't do that. And I have a lot of friends, or I've had a lot of friends or people that I knew that always talked about quitting certain things, stopping certain things, being better. But it's like they always backtrack. Like for example, I had a friend who used to smoke a lot, and he was like, "Man, I was inspired by the fact that you don't do this and you don't do that, so I'm gonna stop smoking." Right? So 2 weeks go by. I mean, 2 days go by. I come back, he's smoking again. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait till this and this happen, and then I'm gonna stop smoking because I won't have all the stress on me." So everything goes through. A few days later, back smoking again. I'm like, I'm not judging you. You know what I'm saying? Do you? But don't sit here and tell me things if you're not about it. Like, you know what I mean? I just, at this point in my life, I can't be around people who just don't have solid word. Like, I'd rather you not tell me anything. You could sit here and blow like a train, but if you own that, you own it. But if you sitting there blowing like a train and telling me that you're gonna stop and do this, and then every time I turn around, you buy more smoke, then eventually it's just gonna rub me the wrong way. I really do not like contradictions. I really do not like incompetence and people who just sit there and essentially lie to themselves that make themselves feel better. I always have love for you. I always, support you in anything you do. But being around you and allowing you to consume my energy and allowing my energy to be consumed by you when I'm not getting anything in return, I just can't be around that. So I say all that to say, if you know, you know. And you're going to know when you know. Because you're probably going through a situation right now where you feel that your friends are slipping off the rails, or they're slipping away from you. Or it's like you're the stepchild, or you're like the third friend in the group of three. You know what I mean? You may even feel left behind. Who knows? But like I said, sometimes you just need to take a step back from people. And that doesn't mean you don't have to ever be their friend again. I don't say this in the sense like, oh, I'm cutting you off. It's just, no, I can no longer be around you. I can no longer give you, I can no longer give you the amount of you that I've given you, because I'm on a different path, and maybe we can meet back up. But right now, I just can't afford these transactions of energy, because it's not doing anything for me. I love you, I care for you, but I have to let you go. I have to let you go. Because if I continue to hold on to you, and I continue to reminisce and let nostalgia essentially lie to me, I'm going to bury myself. And that I can't do it. I can't do it. So you always want to surround yourself around people who resonate with you. You always want to surround yourself around people who inspire you to do better. If you feel like the smartest person in the room all the time, get the hell out that room. Go find smarter people. If you feel like you're always parenting and supervising a certain group, get out of that group. You need to find more mature people. You know what I mean? Just there has to be some form of balance. Now, I'm all for taking the role, right? Like if I go out, I'm gonna make sure everybody get home safe because I'm not drinking anything, I'm not smoking anything. I will always assume that role. You know what I'm saying? I make sure everyone gets home safe. But if I was around people who just made dumb decisions all the time and I'm constantly having to pull you out of trouble, or I'm constantly, you know what I'm saying, we avoiding altercations by the skin of our teeth, just stupid stuff. Like I can't be around that. I can't risk that. That's not what I want. You know what I mean? That's not what I do. So I say all that to say, don't allow friendships to be an excuse for your boundaries being overstepped. Just because someone is your friend, just because someone is your lover, just because someone is a part of your family does not mean they have the rights to overstep your boundaries. If you don't want to be disrespected, don't allow disrespect. If you don't want your life and freedom put at jeopardy, don't allow it. If you don't want somebody, doing certain things to you, don't allow it. If you don't feel welcome around your friends, find new ones. Take a step back, be by yourself. And everything's going to be all right. You know what I mean? And if you have a problem or you have trouble with finding friends, bro, I'm telling you, it's not as hard as it seems. It's not as hard as it seems. Just interact with more people. Go out around more people. And there's people at the park. There's people at the local gym. There's people everywhere. You can even start with online friends, just having somebody to talk to. But what I would definitely recommend is always being your own friend. Treat yourself like a friend. Treat yourself like the friend you never had. Treat yourself the way you treat other people. Treat yourself the way or do the things that you do for other people. You know how you go out on those links and you give all those phone calls and all those meaningful text messages and all those check-ins. You know how you do that for everybody? I challenge you to do that for yourself. See how things change. So, it is okay. Sometimes we outgrow people. Sometimes things just don't last. Sometimes things just don't work out. But my friend, life goes on. I love you. Always a pleasure talking to you. And I'll talk to you soon.